Hey, it's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. Welcome back. We're about to go ahead and get into a review on Love the Match Atlanta as well as Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, so give me 1 second, girl. All right, yes, perfect. So let's go ahead and get into some things. Shout out to the people that are over here watching at this time. Yes, as you come in, go ahead and like the video. Shout out to Keon. Thank you so much for being here. What's up? Just be happy like me. What's up, Jay Nostalgia? What's going on, Linda and Sabrina? Honey, we're about to talk about Love Match Atlanta real quick, like, and then we'll transition over to Real Housewives of Atlanta. So let's get into that. So Ming ends up having a party, right? And she tells everyone that her husband wasn't able to make it because he ended up like, what she said? He had some tuna or something like that. She think he ate something. I'll be honest, I don't think that man was gonna show up no way. I don't think he was gonna show up at all. But that's just what I think. I think he's over her being a love matcher, if you will say. I think he's ready for her to settle down, and I just don't think he was going to show up. But then some part of me feels like Ming may not want her man to be a part of the show either, for everybody to be all in her business like that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe she just didn't want him to come. And then she also done blurred the man face out in some photos. Anyway, so I don't know, mean girl. Somebody lying, and it's probably you. But let's keep going, okay? Now, Lamont over there telling everybody, hey, Shay not invited, right? Shay wasn't invited. Only for Shay to turn around and bust up the groove and walk in there in her bright yellow. Okay, as advised by Lamont, because when she talked to Lamont the last time, he told her, like, girl, I want you to, I think you should show up. So that's what Shay did, okay? Now, Ming, at this point, she's looking pissed off. She feels away. She like, girl, how the hell you finna show up to somebody's event all uninvited and stuff like, where they do that at? Girl, here in Atlanta, that's where it look like they do that at. Joseph is also confused as to how she finna show up to somebody's event and she wasn't invited, right? Meanwhile, Ming decides to call Miss Shay Big Bird. I said, you have to go there, girl. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, Consuela approaches Shay and she lets her know, like, girl, listen, we know you here right now, BIT, but we don't need no drama. And Shay's like, girl, I didn't come here for the drama. All right, but I did come because you did not invite me, so it is what it is. But she also did not come empty-handed. She came and she had an item or whatnot for Miss Girl, what the lady name is, for Miss Ming. So she gave her a gift or whatnot, which I thought was kind of nice. Even though this lady didn't invite you, you still showed up and you did not show up empty-handed. So I said that was nice. Okay. What else did we see? Let's see. Shay and Ming, they end up having a conversation where Ming tells her, listen, I thought you was going to get into a fight. And Shay's like, why would you think that that's something I was going to do? She said, well, based on the event we went to the last time, and you damn near got into a fight with Paris. I disagree. I felt like Ming was putting 20 on 10. I just think they had a disagreement or whatever. Words were exchanged, but blows were not. So it really wasn't that deep. And it made me wonder, Ming, what's your real issue with Shay? Like, why don't you really like Shay? What is it? I mean, do you think Shay is ghetto? Is she not of your caliber? Like, what is the real reason that you do not like Shay? Okay, so you're hyping this up only for Lamont to walk over and for him to clear it up as well. First of all, he wanted to check on them, and Shay was like, well, I'm good. I just wanted to, I want Ming to get to know me herself instead of passing judgment, right? And then Ming speaks on her about to fight or getting into a fight with Paris, and Lamont had to let her know that was not a physical fight, though. That wasn't like a physical altercation that took place. So all is well. Okay. And Shay actually invites Ming to have a sit down so that she can get to know her better instead of taking on the opinions of other folks or whatever. So I'm confused as to why Ming feels like Shay was in the wrong for what she did when you had the duo actually go up, grab the mic, and made a whole announcement. I'm so confused. And Shay only gave the energy that was given back to her by way of Miss Paris. So what the hell? Girl, I guess, again, Miss Ming, what's your real issue with Shay? Okay. Let's see. Shay came classy with the gift, not the big bird of it all, though. Right. Let's see what else happened. Crystal's mom came down from, I'm sorry, not her mom, but her man. Crystal's man came down from Detroit. Okay. Now, it seemed like he said that he gave her like a I ain't gonna say an ultimatum, but I guess he gave her a timeline, is what he said about them. Like, they have to figure some things out. So it sounds like he's giving her some time to make a decision on when she's finna shift from Georgia to Michigan. That's what it sounds like, because she ends up telling him, well, we're supposed to, I think it would be best if we have a house here in Atlanta. And of course, he's down for that. He's down to have a house in Atlanta or whatever. So I'm like, interesting, because she also made the statement of it. I tell my clients, if you're dating long term or something like that, if you're in a long term situation or a long distance situation, then at some point, basically somebody got to move. If not, you're wasting your time. Some part of me wonders if we're going to see that Crystal has wasted her time, because I don't know if she's gonna want to move. That's where her business is. That's where her business is most successful. If she does move, she's probably going to try to play matchmaker up there, but she's going to have to make sure that understanding is clear with her man, because I feel like he thinks if she relocates up there, it's not going to be with the understanding that she's going to continue to do her matchmaking work. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that relationship. I don't know. I mean, unless he relocates and comes down to where she's at. Let's see. I think Ming thinks Shay is ghetto or beneath her because she does low cost matchmaking. I think Ming thinks Shay is not on her level. Interesting. I think that's a good one, Rika. You probably absolutely correct about that. Absolutely correct. I can see that. I definitely could see that. I didn't consider that, but I can see that, which is still crazy because I don't think Lamont charges outrageous prices when it comes to his matchmaking. So why did he get the invite? I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. But okay, good luck. What else happened? The duo and Shay. Shay tells them about Ming thinking that she would fight because they was confused as to why she did not get the invite to begin with. So they're confused about that. So she lets them know that she thinks that I was gonna fight based on what happened at the last thing that we went to. However, the duo was thinking like me. Whatever this excuse is that Ming is coming up with is BS. All right. So Shay is going on her first date. But she actually is a bit terrified about going on her first date because she doesn't know what to expect. She definitely wants to have a father figure and things for her daughter and all this other stuff. I feel like she's putting a lot of emphasis on what she wants her daughter to have when primarily it's really what it is that she wants. You know what I'm saying? Just my thoughts of it all. We also finally got a chance to see a photo of Tana's husband. I don't think we saw a picture of him previously, but he's a very handsome man. So I was like, okay, well, at least she gave us a photo because she ain't giving us no more details. So, okay, gotcha. Cool. Now, Shay's date, very handsome, very handsome. I think they had chemistry. Okay, I think they did. They exchanged numbers. We're going to see just how far this date goes with Shay. And oh boy, I didn't catch his name or whatnot. But Shay, girl, I had to look. Shay was holding that pinky up a little too much for me. And I said, Shay, AKA, girl, I had to go look it up. And she a Delta. Girl, I'm going to need you to watch that pinky action, girl. But anyway, let's go ahead and scoot over. Joseph decides that he was going to ask Paris's dad for her hand in marriage because he wants to propose to her. So I think we might be seeing a proposal on this season with Joseph and Paris. All right. So that was pretty much everything that happened on Love Match Atlanta. Wasn't a whole lot, girl, but I had to go ahead and bring it to y'all because I know a lot of you guys are enjoying the show and I am as well. So, I can't say that I'm not. All right. So let's go ahead and switch gears and get into why we really are here, honey. Real Housewives of Atlanta. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it. All right. So let me go back over here. Let me switch over real quick. What's going on, Critic Chronicles and Miss Yolanda? What's up, honey? Come on into the room. Make sure you like the video. What's up, Chandra? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. So listen. So we pick up where we left off. All right. Like we did the last time. All of the ladies are sitting around having dinner, of course, with their significant others or whatnot. Now, Sheree done showed Drew this text message of the things that Anthony had to say about her and then turned around and said that Ralph was gay. Okay. Now, Ralph wasn't trying to entertain this conversation, so he just moved on about his business or whatnot, right? For the time being. Drew, for some reason, Sheree is showing you exactly what it is your assistant said about you and okay, saying about you and your husband. But for some reason, you still want to blame Sheree, like Sheree did something wrong. And I just don't think that Sheree did anything wrong. That's just what I think. Now, Sonya is trying to get her to see that her assistant was messy AF. And at this point, what needs to happen is that they need to cut ties, okay? Cut ties with this man and move on. What else happened? So Marlo asked Drew, do you feel like you were wrong at all? So Drew, realizing that she was wrong, decides to apologize to Sheree for her actions, okay? She apologizes for misspeaking. And Sheree said, girl, you finna apologize for putting your hands in my face? Right. So, of course, Drew apologized for putting her hands in her face as well. But meanwhile, Ralph was like, excuse me, I'm confused. How the hell did I get brought into the madness when this ain't really have a whole lot to do with me? Like, why y'all brought me into the mess? Right. So Sheree says that, Oh, yeah. Sheree said, well, he talked about everybody, honey. It wasn't just you. It was everybody. So don't feel like it was just all about you. He talked about a whole lot of people. The only difference is I wasn't messy like your wife over here. So I wasn't running around telling what he said about everybody. I didn't do that. All right. That's the difference between me and her. Okay, so Drew says, so Drew says, well, this is what happened. Actually, since you want to talk, I actually went over. Okay, I went over to Candy because I was seeking advice from Candy. So I told Candy about it and I was asking Candy, what should I do? Right. And that's when Candy decided to take matters into her own hands. And she decided to go and tell everybody else. And that's when Sheree called Candy out and called her out for being messy AF. And I just kind of feel like at the same time, Sheree, this is what you get. Because you be out here carrying bones too. You played that role for many seasons, girl. And now it then came back at you and it came by way of Miss Candy. Now, Candy girl, you was wrong for real. For real, you are. Anyway, so but Candy admits that, she accepts that, and she actually apologizes for that. And meanwhile, Kenya over here telling Drew, girl, you need to take note on how to act and how to handle stuff when it's your turn. Okay. So Drew says that she went to Candy asking what to do. I think we talked about that. Yep. Sheree called Candy out for being messy AF. Kenya ends up getting a text message from Mark, and she just stressed out immediately. And it seems like nobody else really knew what was going on, but Marlo knew automatically. Marlo said, okay, so is that Mark? Just ignore him, Kenya. But of course, Kenya couldn't ignore. So she gets up from the table, and then Candy asks Sheree, does she know why Kenya may be upset? And I'm like, well, you and Kenya closer than she and Sheree. Why would Sheree know over you? Okay, I guess. So what we find out is that Mark is complaining. So basically, Kenya went over there to drop her daughter, Brooklyn, so he could spend time with her. Now he's saying, oh, well, I got to work. So you're going to have to come and get her, whatever. It sounds like he wants her to come over there and get their daughter instead of him dropping the daughter off. That gives me alternative motives. Like, granted, yeah, I already think he got alternative motives, but it makes me wonder what you're going to try to do when Kenya get over there. Is you gonna sit up there and come up with some type of story and say, oh, well, I ain't really had to go to work. I just wanted to get you over here. I don't know about you, Mark, but either way, you stressing Miss Girl out. So Kenya is frustrated with having to pick her daughter up early. So then Candy tells her, like, listen, because she goes over there, she's like, you might have to just get to a place where you just fall back and just let him start reaching out. Now, Kenya says something that I don't necessarily fault her on. Kenya says she can't do that. Right? She says, I can't do that. She says she doesn't want to do that. She wants to, in my opinion, she says, as a mother, I can't do that. And she talks about how, I guess, the values or what it is a dad can give to his daughter. So basically what it sounds like to me is she doesn't want to be one of those moms that put even more space in between them, because she knows if she does fall back and doesn't reach out, he'll be one of those other baby daddies like Block that's like, oh, well, whatever. So I feel like what she's trying to do is make sure he know, like, you still have responsibilities. Like I think a lot of women do that. You know, they don't just fall back and just, take it and just, I'm just gonna let him reach out when he wants. No, I think a lot of women, there are a lot of women that's like, nah, you gonna understand that you got a child too. Like, yep, come get her. Yep, I'm gonna drop her off. Okay, this right here is gonna happen. So I just think that Kenya doesn't want to create that type of space, right? In my opinion. Let me see what you guys are saying. But it was big of Candy to just own her facts and accept her role and how she handled it. Correct. It's highly disrespectful to accuse someone's husband of being gay. Very. It's messy and low grade, no matter who said it. He was definitely out of line. Uh, yeah, okay. So let's see what else ended up happening. So we find out that Tyrone is actually on house arrest. Of course, we kind of been new, right? He can't travel more than 100 miles, but wherever they are is within the mile range. So Sheree is hoping that he gets to meet everybody the night of the Broadway play. Okay, so there's that. Marlo decides that she want to give people advice about their marriage and their sex life. Child, I can't with Marlo. So Marlo wants to give people advice about their sex life and talking about how they need to love and listen to each other. But then tells Candy that she getting out of hand when it comes to sex, talking about she got people around here wanting to put on certain type of underwear and then let it get buzzed and vibrated. I kind of felt how Marlo felt a bit. Like, girl, everybody not kinky like you. Everybody don't get into that. Like, they just don't. And I know you probably want them to let their guard down just for a limited time to have fun. But if that ain't what they into, they just not into that. Like, I'm not gonna want to be walking around getting buzzed on. Like, I just like, nah, that's not. No, ma'am. I want. So I mean, girl, you getting buzzed, so you gonna have to wear a pad too if it's some leakage. Like, what's happening? Like, girl, no, ma'am. Y'all, say the drama for your mama. I'm not gonna participate in that. I get what Kenya is doing, but she can't force him. That's true. If Mark doesn't want to be in his daughter's life, that's his loss. That is very true. That's very true. Right. LOL. Candy be doing too much with the right. She be doing too much with it sometimes, girl. Sometimes. So Candy doesn't want to hear nothing that Marlo talking about, because Marlo then starts talking about how Todd wants some sex. So she starts talking about how Todd wants some, and Candy ain't trying to hear her. She tells Marlo, if that's the case, then you need to start busting it open, girl. Okay, you need to start doing something. So I just said I was with Marlo, because I don't want nobody going around buzzing my cootie twat like that. Like, nobody husband. What? And y'all just gonna tell me something? Yeah, and we gonna swap out, which is so interesting to me. We're going to swap out the buzzers and let somebody else's husband grab them, or whatever the case may be. That's just really interesting to me. When Kenya got in trouble for even playing in the damn pool with Apollo, remember that? She damn near got her head taken off. So why would you think that it's okay for somebody to sit up there and buzz another woman's courtois? And then let's say that woman find out, let's say it's some sketchy women in the group, okay? And they find out, oh, Ralph over here buzzing me. They probably want to really see what they do. Like, that type, like, no, I disagree with that, Miss Candy girl. But anyway, let's get to Kenya and Sonya, because the next day we saw them talking, and they talked about Mark and how he's always trying to create issues with Kenya. Right. And then they speak on Kenya going in on Ralph, and she actually felt bad for that. Right. She felt like she shouldn't have did that. Sonya is feeling like, yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, like, he deserved it a little bit. But Miss Drew also need to be held accountable, too. Like, y'all need to pay attention to the FS that she be out here doing as well. So Sonya speaks on what she doesn't like about Drew and how she handled the situation with Sheree. She did not like how she handled the situation with Sheree. She also was confused about the whole drop it with Drew, because it's like, you over here promoting weight loss, but that you're not losing your weight in the same fashion. You're losing your weight by way of surgery. So and that's when Kenya said that, I definitely cackled, because Kenya was like, how are you supposed to help people lose weight when you had to surgically cut your stomach out? Okay. So when Kenya said that, I definitely was tickled, and I said, America is wondering the same thing. I did feel bad for Drew at a later time in the episode, when all of the ladies pretty much sat around and they were questioning. They had some questions for her. I did kind of feel bad for Drew, because Drew, just like a lot of other women, listed some of her medical conditions. And I do believe that some of the medical conditions that Drew listed does make women struggle to lose weight. So they might have to go and get them a nip and tuck, or whatever the case may be, honey. Right? But I think if Drew's going to have drop it with Drew, I think she should just make sure she's vocal about that part and not try to group the two together as though you naturally lost weight. I think the way she doesn't know how to communicate. Maybe that's what it is. She doesn't know how to thoroughly explain stuff or something. Like, make sure that's separate, because how she's leading it on to us is, I lost 25 pounds, So you're making it seem like your program did all of that work, when in actuality you had surgery. So it's like, maybe you could say couple with the surgery on top of me, being, working out, whatever, then I've lost X amount of pounds or something. But it's how you try to sell stuff. Like, some in the milk ain't clean, Drew. And I think somebody asked that. I think Marlo or somebody said, okay, so is a maintaining your weight after surgery or something like that. She said, and she was like, no, that's not what it is. Girl, and then you said you've been doing this for a very long time. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, maybe Ralph has, because he looks like he's been pretty fit, but I don't believe that. I feel like you just started doing Drop It with Drew once you became a housewife. I don't think that that's something that you've been doing for years before you became one. But okay, Miss Ma'am. What else? So Sheree and Kenya. Sheree, or was it Candy? I can't remember who she was talking to, but Sheree says that Tyrone was approved to come, but chose not to come because I think it was like 94, almost 95 miles, right? Within the 100-mile radius that he can travel, but he did not want to chance it. That's what the thing was. He didn't want to chance it. So yeah, I just felt like that was baloney to me. That was a full, wholehearted baloney. I do think that he's just not that into her. It's a very unfortunate situation. It's sad. It's a very common situation that people hear about individuals that's locked up behind bars, and then they start talking to these women, and sometimes they have somebody else that they're talking to. So I do think that it's definitely messed the hell up. And I just feel like he was full of shit. Like, it's still within the mile radius. Like, she probably would have been willing to drive. Well, hell, she drove a whole hour and 40 minutes. But she probably would have drove, maybe 30 minutes away, almost close to 30 miles, 20 miles or whatever, so he can make sure that he's within range. But it sounds like he just didn't even want to do that. He was just all apprehensive. He was just blowing smoke like he bogus. That's the short answer is that he bogus, okay? So lunchtime come around, we find out that, what's her name, Marlo had a crush or whatever on Jazzy Faye, child. Girl, what? Not Jazzy Faye. I guess. All right, then. She like Jazzy Faye. But anyway, yeah, so Kenya asked Candy who was the most famous person that hit on her. And what we find out, which was interesting to me because I never knew this, Candy actually dated Gerald Levert. I said, I ain't never knew this in the R&B history books. I never knew that was in there. Never knew that. They had a song together. I don't know if it was ever released or anything. But, okay, interesting. Now, Drew get up there with her book of lies, okay? Drop the lies with Drew. Drew says that a certain king of the NBA, we already know, LeBron. Everybody is we gonna think of LeBron. Okay, she didn't say his name, but we believe that she's alluding to LeBron, saying that this man done flew her out. And now I don't put that past nobody, for real. I don't. But Drew, we know that you too can tell lies as well. Okay. Now, so she done sat up here talking about he done flew her out. He done, what she said, he flew her out. She came to a few of his games or whatnot. They went out on a few dates. And what else did this girl say? He was listening to her music. So when he was winning games, it was off of the strength of her music or something like that. Girl, we didn't even know you was dropping any music. Was it the music that you dropped on the game? Like, what are you talking about? Okay. And then I'm over here wondering now, I ain't gonna lie, after I saw the post circulating towards the end of last week, LeBron James just did a whole dedication post to his wife. And I was a little confused. Like, did you see the clip that we saw? Was it a small bit of truth that you needed to go to social media to do this whole advocating and promoting of how loving your wife is and how you wouldn't be who you are if it wasn't for her? Granted, I don't think you lying at all. However, I'm just wondering if you saw the clip that we saw and chose to put this post up. I'm just, question that needs answers. But either way, I do kind of feel like, you know what I'm saying, Drew was lying. But then when I see that, it got me be like, okay, well, all right. But Kenya said it was Laquan. So maybe it was a Laquan, honey. I don't know. Sheree doesn't see what we see. He is not into her at all. I have spent 10 years working the prison system, and that's classic behavior. Ooh, child, I believe it. Candy released the song on her YouTube page last night. Never listened to it. Hashtag no interest. Okay. Gotcha. I don't believe Drew. What music, Drew? Right. She gonna have to drop the music. She gonna have to let us know about the music that she alleging that she dropped at that particular time. Okay. Hey, Lily, what's going on, honey? Let's see. Drew does gaslight the women just like her husband. She is very manipulative and want people to feel bad for her. Okay. It was hypocritical for Sheree to be talking about anyone's business. She had 10 years to get a website together and still ain't got one. How dreadful. And you know, I said the same thing. Talk about when I get my website for She by Sheree. It's going to be available spring, summer, and September. And I said, girl, well, where was it available the past few years when we were looking for it? And right now we're in what, spring going into summer, ma'am. Where's the site? Okay. It's up, but nothing on there is available at this time. Okay, so you're still lagging just a little bit. We want you to pick that up. All right, so let's keep going. What else ended up happening with the ladies? Kenya talking about Prince tried to hit on her. I don't know. I cannot deny that. I can't say that she's lying 100% because Kenya has been in that, entertainment industry for a very long time. So I do not know. She could have been one of the video girls and was on set, came across him. She could have been at an award show or had access to certain parties. So that I don't know. Kenya could indeed be lying. But then she could be telling the truth. The verdict is out. If you leave it up to Drew, Drew is saying that Miss Kenya is lying and she can't wait to read her book of fiction. So I'm like, well, if Kenya lying, you lying. Now, granted, Kenya definitely gave us a fake story about having sex with wolves tried. Not going to believe it. You're not going to make me believe it. You're not going to hook me in. You're just not going to do it. All right. What else ended up happening? Oh, they get ready to get on the bus. Candy was expecting all of the ladies to have on their underwear. Well, no, not everybody had on their underwear. Marlo didn't, Kenya didn't, Sheree did, but she left her remote somewhere else, right? Meanwhile, Candy, Sonya, and Drew had theirs on. And Sonya's ended up going off, and we still don't really know who was buzzing her. Now, she definitely hit the hell out of Ralph because she thought it was Ralph, but we don't know if it was Ralph that had her buzzing the way that she was buzzing, child. But either way, they ended up having to walk a few blocks. And I said, girl, not y'all got y'all heels on and y'all about to have to walk a block or two or 7 minutes or however long he said it was going to take for them to get there. I'm with Marlo. Marlo went and found that scooter, baby. Come on, Nene, where is your scooter? Marlo went and found it and she hopped on it and she rode all the way to the theater. It looked like she was a little late, but listen, girl, I'll take that any day instead of walking in some heels, hurting my feet. And I was with Kenya too. I said, you had better have some flats in your purse because you know how this go. All right. Now, some of the ladies look like they was just walking in their heels and good luck to you. Because I wouldn't have been able to do it. It would have been flats or it would have been the scooter, one of the two. Okay. We can't validate Candy nor Kenya due to these men have passed on to glory. Okay. You probably got a point there. But if Candy probably got some other things in the vault, we might be able to at least confirm Candy's if she got maybe love notes or something maybe that look old from the 90s or something. Or maybe some video. I mean, we saw she had a picture. Maybe if we got something else, who knows? But I've never heard that, so I don't know. I believe Kenya, she was that girl in the 90s. Gotcha. Kenya is a liar. Lord have mercy. Talking about wolf blood and whatnot. So y'all don't believe her? I think Drew thinks she is more than a starter package actor. Name 5 things, not including Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was in. I can only name 2 at this particular time, which was The Game and the TLC movie. I know she's done some things on Lifetime. I think one was Stepsister. But prior to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I only know those 2. But I'm not sure. She could have been in some other things, but those are the only 2 that stuck out for me. She by Sheree is the biggest lie and joke in Housewives history. Lord have mercy. So Drew wants us to believe she was messing with Braun, but she chose Ralph. Good night. Good night. Jamie, I thought you were in ATL. Candy and Gerald Levert were very serious. She took care of the daughter after he passed, and they were a whole family, sis. I'm not from Georgia, but I am in Georgia. I'm from Alabama. So I wasn't here around the time that they had that going on. So I never knew. Never knew. Maybe LeBron wasn't even referring to Drew. Drew did say it last year during the reunion. Did she? I missed that. I did not. I missed that. I'm gonna have to go back and take a little peek because I missed that. You know what? As I'm thinking, I feel like she did. Well, there we are. Yeah, what Candy also wrote songs for the group Gerald was in with Key Sweat and Johnny Gill. Gotcha. It was Ralph's weird as Ty said. It wasn't him and it wasn't Aaron. Ralph was the only one who I saw with the remote in his hand at that time, and I was definitely looking at his hand, but I could not tell if he was clicking the buzzer or if he was just holding it. So it probably was definitely Ralph. Ralph does strike me as, when I think about it, as a person that could play too much. So y'all could be right. It probably was that man over there buzzing that man wife cootie twat, buzzing it down. Okay. Let's see what else we got over here. So thoughts of a colored black man. When Candy kind of talked about it, it made me think of the other show. I think they adapted it into like a movie. Not show, but movie. I think it was like a play or a book originally called For Colored Girls that considered, the big S when the rainbow wasn't enough or something like that. It made me think of that one, the one I think Janet Jackson was in. So I was like, okay, so it's just like a spin on that, but it's like the male's version. That's what it sounds like. So Sheree, Kenya, and Marlo, let's get to them. So they speak on Ralph calling her a liar. And Marlo says that she believes that that Drew really does believe her lies. Okay, child. They go to her website. Marlo talking about how she may need to lose some pounds, so it looked like she was gonna try to sign up because I really think she was trying to find out the pricing. Well, what ended up happening, girl, was the website was not even working. And when that website was not working, I hollered. Okay, especially when Bravo got real shady and they put up the little thing saying the website you're seeking or whatever is not working or whatever. I said, oh, they're going to have a field day with this. So Kenya, once everybody comes out, she immediately apologizes to Ralph and says that she was projecting. You know what's been real interesting? The comments on Twitter, it used to go up in flames when it came to Miss Kenya and how people would drag her and how they could not stand her, right? Now I'm seeing more of you guys actually liking Kenya. I guess. I ain't mad at it though. Because I was wondering if y'all were going to change your thoughts about her this season or how it was going to flow. But the verdict is still out. We going to see. You know what I'm saying? We going to see. Because y'all may, you know what I'm saying? Y'all may be trying to start that hate train back up later in the season. Who knows? But anyway, what else do we have? Sonya decides to let Drew know, and I want to know y'all thoughts about this. Like, let me know what you're thinking about this Drew versus Sonya. And no, I have not watched Candy speak on it yet because I know she did a sit down with Sonya, so I have not watched that yet. And you know what else I want to talk about? I just thought about something, and maybe I'm wrong. Y'all know how on Bravo's YouTube channel, once the Real Housewives, and maybe they're going to do this later in the season, I don't know. But I know they did it for Potomac. I know they did it for Beverly Hills. And I know they did it for Salt Lake City. When the show goes off, they do this little after show thing where the ladies come on camera and they share their thoughts about certain stuff. And I'm wondering if they're going to do it with Atlanta because I've never seen them do it with Atlanta. No, they have done it with Atlanta. They just haven't done it the virtual way like they used to. Abort mission. I got it now. All right. So Sonya decides to let Drew know that why she hasn't stepped up to have her back. She said, I know you've been dealing with a lot of stuff with the ladies in the group and you want me to pretty much have your back on certain stuff. And I'll let you know why I don't have your back, which was really left field. So I understood the confusion that was on Drew's face because it's like, bro, I thought we was cool. Like, what are you even talking about? I came to you and told you I wanted you to have my back. I don't think I ever said I wanted you to have my back. You know, I haven't heard Drew say that. I don't know. So Sonya says, okay, you're confused. She's like, well, I'm going to explain it to you so you can understand. And Drew's like, okay, like what? So Sonya says she feels conflicted showing up for Drew as a friend when she gets to witness Drew's actions towards others in so many words. And I understood what Sonya was saying. I feel like, even though I felt like it came a bit left field, Sonya, I think a lot of times we have these people that become our friends or people we get cool with or whatever the case may be. And immediately in the beginning, we start noticing certain things about them, but we never say anything. We just continue to go along and be friends. Well, Sonya seemed like she might be that straight shooter, and she can't hold on to stuff like that when she conflicted too long, to where it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to call you out on your friend. I mean, on your SHI as your friend. I'm gonna have to just go and let you know I don't really like how you handle this situation, handle that situation. And I feel like that's probably why some people's friendships blow up, because they witness and they notice those things and they don't say nothing, and they just go along, and then it's a big old blow up, right? So I feel like she's trying to, like, girl, let me go ahead and let you know about yourself right now. But I also feel like she did that to make sure that she was the one to tell Drew and nobody else was the one to tell Drew, and probably also feeling pressure that they could have told her, you know what I'm saying, to say something. I don't know, but I was thinking she probably is a straight shooter and was like, I'm not going to hold it in. I'm noticing how flawed you are, so don't ever expect me to really have your back when you operate like this. Let me go ahead and tell you right out the gate. But I want to hear y'all thoughts, and y'all got to tell me what y'all are thinking. IDK, why Sonya didn't just tell Drew that she didn't have the combo earlier, because she had 11 people in her hotel room. I don't know either. I don't know why she didn't tell her that. You know, and because Drew probably would have hit her back and said, well, you got 11 people sitting right here, so why are you saying this to me in front of all of these people? I don't know if she felt more comfortable because we're a group of friends, but Sonya did say, you know, I was planning on having this conversation with you in private, but when Kenya opened up the floor, I was like, well, hey, let me go and get this off my chest, you know. Drew only had drama with Sheree. Sonya is jumping on bandwagons, and that is another thing that's true as far as her only having issues with Sheree. Because when she brought that up, she was like, "You're out here getting into it with everybody," and Drew is like, "I've only gotten into it with Sheree." So that also made me think Sonya has watched the previous season. That's what that is. She's watched the previous season and probably saw how Drew got into it with Kenya at one point, and could have been at odds with anybody else that probably was on the show last season. So I think that's probably where Sonya was coming from. What else ended up happening? Marlo. So Marlo calls out Drew's website. She said, well, let me tell you why Kenya was upset. Kenya went to your website, Miss Ma'am, and Kenya didn't see nothing, girl. No, ma'am, it wasn't nothing on her website. No, ma'am, it was. At first, she said they went to your website. And Drew was like, oh, my God, thank you. Like, wow. Oh, my God. Like, totally freaked me out. I mean, right on. Like, oh, my God, that's awesome. And they was like, no, ma'am, it wasn't working. It wasn't working. It's not working. It's not working. That made me think about Regina when she said, we're working. It wasn't working. Okay. And then Drew says, oh, the website crashed. I'm like, okay, Drew, you be lying, girl. Like, girl, you just be saying whatever on it. You just be lying. Just be lying. 1 minute you excited and happy, then you turn around and you got an excuse for that one. Oh, it's crashed, instead of saying, oh, it's not working. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe she didn't want nobody to have a one up on her, but they already did. But anyway, so first the site was working, now it's not. All right. So Drew tries to explain the business because nobody understands the business. Okay. So nobody believes it, nor do they understand it. So the ladies are starting to question her about it, and she's trying to explain why she ended up getting the surgeries. She started listing all of the conditions that she's had, which led up to surgery. Now, some of it I can say I feel like she could have overhyped it. But then some of it, she could be telling the truth. Women always talk about how they've gotten some type of work done. They have some type of condition that's preventing them or causing them to really struggle to lose weight. And Drew's face really started to, like, I don't know if y'all noticed her face. Like, it looked like she wanted to cry. All right. She looked sad that people were calling this into question. Business. Okay, this is her business. This is something that's going to be seen on national TV, girl. Yikes. Okay, so you're going to have to come up with another endeavor. You might have to do 100 with Drew. You might have to do 100 with Drew, girl, because I don't know if Drop It with Drew is going to work. It's not looking good for you. What else? Sheree hops up out the chair because, you know, Tyrone calling and she's super excited, but she made sure to let them know health and fitness is my arena. And all of this right here is real, okay? And I think she was, you know, referring to her butt and stuff, because I don't think she was referring to her breast. But Sheree looks amazing. I'm definitely going to give her that. She looks really good, and I do think that health and fitness is definitely her category. For sure. Drew is punching what is it? Oh, Drew is the punching bag of the season, but she needs to back them heifers off of her. I don't know how she gonna do it. She called Drew to what? She called Drew to after her car accident, like they were besties and stuff. Now she wants an issue. The new Cynthia Bailey flip flopper. Yikes. She definitely called Drew, but I did see a post, or was it a tweet or something, where Sonya ended up saying something like, just because I called her to like help me out or whatever like that about my kid, you know, about my accident, doesn't mean that we're friends. We were just being friendly. I guess I don't know why you called Drew either when you got all these people living in your house in Atlanta. I'm sure somebody could have been called and could have came and picked you up, you and your daughter. Now granted, Drew did offer, but she probably, I mean, you called her, so obviously you needed some help or something. So I don't know why you didn't call your family member. I mean, it is seeming like she wants a problem with her the same way Drew wanted a problem with Sheree. So I guess let's see what else you guys are saying. Jamie, they said the ladies will have more confessional looks at after show coming soon. Perfect. Thank you so much, Keon, for the deets, because you be on it. I definitely appreciate that. So I'm looking forward to it. I actually liked Kenya's look with the braid across. I think she had on the pink. I also like Candy's blue look with the bun and the hair hanging down. And then I don't know, maybe it's the colors. I'm liking the colors. I like Sheree's look with the different patterns or whatever and the hair coming down. I do not like the Addams Family look with the ponytail and the bang. I hate that look very much. So very much. I do not like that one. But with the blonde hair and stuff, Sheree looks good. So I've heard a girl because they getting there. They are definitely getting there. When the black girl gets surgery, it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem, Phil. I don't think it's a problem when the black woman gets surgery or the black girl gets surgery. I think it's her getting surgery and then trying to mask it as though she lost all of these pounds on her own, when in actuality, that's not what it was. So it's kind of like false advertisement. No way I'm calling someone I'm not friends with or trust after I get into an accident. Okay. Right. Let's see. Drew versus Sheree is all Candy fault. Ooh, 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 ooh. You think so? You think so? I don't know. I can't put it all on Candy. Maybe a little bit of Candy with how she handled it, but more so Drew, because even at Brooklyn's birthday party, Drew was talking to Sheree like she knew this information to be fact and that it didn't come from a third party. So that's where I'm just side-eyeing Drew, because she barely let Sheree get a word out. You know, she just felt so confident in the mess and the rumor that she gained from somebody. So it's like somebody is on Drew too. Drew wanted the issue with Sheree. She said on Candy Speak on It, they were scheduled for a scene that day, which makes sense why there was a camera on Drew and the assistant. In the store, I suspect Sonya was supposed to be there. Oh, probably maybe she was on her way to go there to meet her, only to end up saying, hey, I can't make it because I just got in a car accident. Maybe it could have been that. What Kenya certainly cannot speak about how to get a natural booty. Ooh, yikes. Sheree's nose is not natural. Sheree Whitfield shares cosmetic procedure ahead of her show return. That's the headline of the article, job. Y'all messy, girl. Let's keep going. What else? So meanwhile, Drew and Sonya are not good. Drew asked her, like, are we good? And Sonya said, well, no, we not. Okay, we're not. We're not good. But then some part of me kind of felt like then maybe that could be a Sonya's problem if y'all are not good. Maybe that could be more so of your problem than it is of hers, you know? But okay, you sound more upset and she didn't really do nothing to you. I don't know. We're going to keep watching and see what's going on, okay? Something not adding up, Miss Sonya. Sheree and Tyrone, y'all. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Y'all go ahead and like the video, girl, so we can talk about Sheree and Tyrone. Baby, Sheree hopped in this car and drove an hour and 40 minutes, almost 2 hours to get to this man. It's cold as hell outside. I'd rather be hot than cold. Ooh, girl. Sat outside with all pieces of fur that she could find. Watching the days go by. Y'all remember that song, Lately? I've been thinking about you, baby. Come on. Just sitting away, watching the days go by. That's what was going on. She was sitting there watching the minutes go by, waiting on this man to show up. Girl, 25 minutes turned into what? 20 minutes turned into 30. 30 turned into about 45 minutes. 45 minutes turned into an hour and a half. Okay, damn near sat there for 2 hours, the amount of time that it took her to drive up there. And he did not show. And she calls and she calling him when she's on her way. He's not answering the phone. Okay. And it was crazy because she had just talked to him earlier that morning. Right. Then she gets there. She calls her daughter, talks to her daughter, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. What happened? She's FaceTiming him. First of all, she was texting him on a WhatsApp. I said, so you got a FaceTime number, but you texting him on WhatsApp, or are you FaceTiming him from WhatsApp? So you ain't even got a real number? Or he just ain't got no job. He can't afford one. So y'all got to talk through WhatsApp. So the phone only works when it's connected to the internet. Like, I'm just so confused. But anyway, girl. Okay. So she's doing all of that. He's not responding, not answering calls, not doing anything. She going straight to voicemail. Then there was another call that said dun dun dun. Girl, that's one of the dun dun dun. That's one of them tones when the phone is cut completely off. So I'm a little confused. Like, da, 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 like what? Why would you not answer the phone for Sheree? But like, I'm just confused on why he just couldn't even just pick up the phone and speak. That to me was not in violation of anything. That you've been on the camera the entire time. So if you weren't going to show up, the least he could have done was got on camera through the phone, or he could have, girl, not him living through the phone. Not like Jamal. Not him living through the phone. Oh, wow. Well, she calls her daughter. She asked her daughter, what does it mean when this and this is happening? She was like, first of all, she said, I've been sitting out here for 30 minutes waiting on Tyrone. He ain't here. Daughter honestly wanted to say, I knew he wasn't finna come. That's what the daughter looked like she wanted to say. I knew he wasn't coming. She just knew. It was in her face for me. And then when she asked, like, well, what does it mean when this and this happens? And she says, oh, I guess you blocked. I guess you blocked or whatever. She's like, blocked. But thank God the grandmama was calling, so they had to get out the phone, girl. I felt so bad for Sheree. I felt so bad for her. But she said something that had me laughing my ass off. I cannot remember what it was, though. I was like, dang, Sheree, like, dang. But then she said something about, got me sitting out here waiting, da-da-da-da-da. Something she said, and I just cackled. Like, I shouldn't have laughed, but girl, it was funny. Anyway, we find out from his attorney that what he said, the attorney says that this can be a violation of his parole. I guess him showing up could be a violation of the parole or whatever. But my thing is, what does that have to do with him getting at least on the phone with this woman and telling her what's up? I feel like if I'm calling you so many times and I'm finna head 2 hours away, if I don't get no answer when I'm leaving the house, or at least 15 minutes down the road, maybe 30, I'm turning the fuck around. Like, why am I continuing to go? Like, no, I'm not going to spend the rest of the drive. I can't get you on the phone. No, that's not how that goes. Somebody gonna have to tell me something. Let's see. Thank you so much, Shalika, for the super chat. She uses WhatsApp to video because she has a Samsung. Okay, is that what it is? I thought you could video chat people on Samsung. You can't video chat people? Thank you for the super chat, Shalika. I'm not a Samsung user. Sorry, guys. So I don't know how that works. Mbaree, Sing, Google Duo. Oh, good night. Good night. Oh, so you can. Thank you, Ebony. So you can. Now, Shalika, was you throwing shade? Google Duo video chats. You can video chat people on Samsung. What's she talking about? I think she was throwing. Was you throwing shade, now, girl? Okay, so Duo is for Samsung. Was it a violation that morning when she said she's on the way? Right. Right. She was on the way. Like, that's not making any sense. That's crazy. I would not have gone. I would not have gone. I would not. I want to believe in good judgment. Sheree would not have gone. But because the producers were there, she decided to proceed. I want to believe that. Let me believe that, girl. Because that's not making no sense, girl. I would have had them cut. We don't need to film today. I don't. We do not need to film today. If he finna sit up here and leave me hanging, embarrass me down to the Philadelphia restaurant. Okay. We don't need to do it today. We'll just skip. Let's see. He was at his parole hearing. He was only approved for the day before. Oh, gotcha. So he got to get approved. So gotcha. That makes sense. That could make sense there, Omar. That maybe that particular day was not already approved. That makes sense. Shantae said, what you say now? Another fake storyline. Here we go again with that Tyrone fella. A whole entire mess. Well, if this was a violation of the parole, why was this info not discussed prior to Sheree leaving? Exactly. What's going on, lady 6916, honey? Exactly. And she said that she just talked to that man earlier that day, like that. I would not want to talk to him anymore. It's the waste of gas, even though it wasn't mine. It's the waste of my time, and it's the embarrassment down to the Bravo cameras and now national television. I would not want to interact anymore. And you know what else? I feel like Sheree probably had always had these thoughts in her head or reservations or whatever, but still wanted to proceed with the relationship, as a lot of people do, because they had so much love for the person. But deep down inside, I think she has always wondered if it would go how a lot of people say these prison relationships end up when people get out. Very sad. Now, she did call Kenya because she was like, let me call somebody. I got to call somebody. I got to tell them about this bullshit. So she decides that she was going to call Miss Kenya Moore. Great call. Great call. I think you about called the right person. Okay. Kenya was really nice to her. Okay. She definitely, first of all, she tells her, girl, I waited here for 2 hours. Now I'm sitting up here looking a fool. I look crazy. I look a fool. I look desperate. I look embarrassed. I am embarrassed. So she's really going off. I'm definitely upset. She says, I'm trying not to cry. The way Kenya wiped her entire damn face. I don't know if that was just like a natural reaction or she wiped her whole face or if she was trying to not laugh or something. I don't know, but she ended up getting really genuine. So Miss Sheree said she was trying not to cry. Then this is when Kenya said, oh no, Sheree, no. Oh no, Sheree, don't cry. She was like, this is a good thing, you know. It may look like it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing because you gave him time to see what he really talking about. If he was gonna fulfill the stuff that he was over there talking about. So now you get to see what it is. And then this is something else Kenya says. Kenya says this is strike one. And it seems like Kenya was trying to allow her friend the grace that if you decide to continue to date him, I'm still going to rock with you and support you, and I'm not going to make you feel no way about it. This is strike one. Now, if he comes with strike 2 and 3, then we know how to move, or you know how to move, and I'm moving whichever way you're moving, okay? You know, honestly, that's the type of advice I give my friends. I'm never going to be the person, and I've said this years, if you've been following me long enough, you'll know I'm never going to be the person to tell a friend to leave somebody. That's going to be her decision, because if she were to leave them, you're going to be mad at yourself if that's something you wanted to do or whatever. You ain't going to put that off on me. I'm just going to support whichever way that you rock it. Now, if this person is like a very physically abusive person, then we're going to have some motherfucking problems for sure, right? But if it's the actions of like Tyrone or little bickering, whatever the situations are, it's up to you how you want to handle that. I'm going to support you. You know, and there's that. So I think that was nice of Kenya. But Miss Sheree said, girl, this is like strike number 50. And I said, okay then, girl, not strike number 50. I said, so is this the straw that broke the camel's back? Once he's out, he didn't, like, what about the times that he was locked up? You didn't see any red flags or nothing? I think the person asked her. She sat down with somebody and they asked her if she saw any red flags. Well, she was like, no. I didn't see nothing wrong. No, I believe it. I think everything is going to be fine. I think we're going to be together. I see our future. And then now you done got out and this done happened. And it's just like, no, it's not, like, I'm done. At least that's what it sounds like. Now, we don't know if Mr. Tyrone is going to resurface at a later time on the show. We are not sure. I don't think he's going to actually be on the show. But when I say resurface, I mean like FaceTime. They're trying to work on their relationship and get it back on track. Not sure, but we'll see. What else? Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Kenya just pretty much supported her, tried to encourage her, tell her, go ahead, strut through the airport. She was like, do I need to buy you a flight? Do I need to buy you a plane ticket or whatever? That was very nice of Kenya to even offer that. And she was like, no, girl, I already got a flight. Like, life is grand on that end, girl. I don't need that, but I need to try and save face the best way I can. But Kenya wants her to hold her head high, look good while you're doing it because you do look good, and just, go on about your business and don't reach out to him. And I'm like, right. I wouldn't reach out to that mother. What we talking about? Matter of fact, I'll put his ass on block the same way he had me so he can see what it's like trying to get in touch with somebody and you can't get in touch with him. I can't. Oh, girl, I cannot. Let's see what else you guys are over here saying. Android phones can video chat other Android phones. iPhone to Android video chat has to use WhatsApp. Oh, makes sense. Thank you so much, Naturally Glow. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see what else you guys are over here saying. I believe Sheree went because she had false hope in her man who doesn't claim her in his video in Tasha K interview. Girl, that's amazing. He in a halfway house. He can leave for the day for food. Okay, but could he have come there? You know what I'm saying? So could he not have was it not approved for him to come that far? I would have thought that they would have at least scheduled this out, because I would think that the trip would have been prior scheduled out. So I feel like they would have had all of this planned, especially with production and everything, down to the location that she sat at to eat. So I think he had a heads up. He was just on something bogus. I don't know. I mean, he could have somebody else, but I don't want to say that's the main reason why he didn't show up, because if you do got somebody else, that person's going to see you FaceTiming and interacting with a whole nother woman on TV anyway. So why not just, show up and sit down and have something to eat with her too? Yikes. Right. It's the embarrassment for me. Ooh, child. Sheree has invested too much money and time to give up on him now. Sheree should have listened to what Nene told her about Tyrone years ago. What was it? Did Nene brought up Tyrone years ago? I can't even remember, girl. Refresh me. Please refresh me, Claire. I've never been a Kenya supporter, but I love the way Kenya was there for Sheree. Brooklyn has changed her for the better. Okay. She should have took a page from Phaedra and not wait for a jailbird. Ooh. Well. Oh, wow. Sheree kept his commission. Listen, I mean, his commissary, kept his commissary full all these years, and he was selling her jailhouse lies and could not even show up to sit down and have some food with this woman, knowing he wasn't going to have to pay for it no way. Ooh, Chile, girl, that right there is something else. Kenya was nice to her and comforted her, just like she was when Bob went off on Sheree years ago. Ooh. Ooh, and there's that. Y'all know Apple stole the FaceTime idea from Samsung. That's why Samsung makers sued Apple. I did hear that they sued Apple. I forgot what it was about. So that's what it was about. I thought it was something else. Well, sorry. What did embarrassed? You mean did embarrass, did foolish, crazy, desperate? He's not worth it if he can't even communicate with her right. Because Kenya definitely knows how it feels to get stood up, because Mark has definitely played her. So listen. Listen, Kenya's able to relate to the ladies. She's been through some things. Where was the tears when Sheree wiped her eyes? I was definitely looking for a stream of water rolling down her face. No tears, just a crying face. It looked like she was trying to catch them, child, before they came. Listen, even if she was faking or not, that scene was heartbreaking. Even if she wasn't trying to cry, the scene was heartbreaking for me. So I wanted to believe she was going to force something to come out. Something, child. But listen, that is all that I have for you guys today. I thank you all so much for joining me. Please don't forget to go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you have yet to do so. All right. That's all that I have. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at jamithatsme, honey. And I am going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.